Greetings, my brothers and sisters. We are PhillyBlackNews.com. We're a network that was created to bring you positive news about us, Africans. Ancient Africa, Africans here in America, Africans around the world, and Africans in the future. So when you tune into us, when you join our network, what you get is positive information about who we are every day. We cannot sit around any longer and wait for the oppressors and the people that benefit most from our ignorance of ourselves to do that for us. They're not going to do it. Why would they go through all that they went through to have us in the condition that we're in right now? To someday wake up and say, oh, well, you know, we want to undo all that we've done. We want to redistribute the wealth. You know, we want to put all the money in the pile and divvy it up, and everybody starts off fresh. Ain't gonna happen. So we created a network because we got tired of waiting. And there's a big problem with us right now with this self-hatred, with this Willie Lynch in our DNA, this self-hatred, this environment that was created where we could never go forward. And what we need to go forward is unity. How do we get unity? We get unity because we love each other. Unity comes from loving each other. When you love your brothers and sisters, and you want for your brother and sisters what you want for yourself, that's the beginning. So when you see us marching and Black Lives Matter and all that's good, I think the march chant should be, tell us who we are. Tell us the truth about who we are. Tell the world the truth about who we are. That's unity. And that's going to be hard to bring about because that's the key to their superiority complex and our inferiority complex. And as long as that's in existence, they don't have to worry about us ever coming together. But when we're on the same page, for those of you who weren't around during the 60s and 70s, when the music was about unity, when everything was about unity, brother come in the room and say, brothers and sisters, what time is it? And everybody in the room said, it's nation time. So it was nation time. It's nation time. It's always been nation time. But they got away from that because that was coming too close to a remedy to our ignorance of ourselves. So this program is a total opposite of that. And what I did was I lit up one of my incense from the A.C.A.F, African Cultural Art Form. They're at 52nd and Chancelor Street in Philadelphia. And I would suggest you to either contact them or have some incense or something in your house that takes away the evil, takes away the negative energy. The incense brings a euphoric atmosphere, and we have one on right now. So what we want to do to start the program is to, first of all, tell you that we've been in the production business for quite a while. And we produced several historical videos with Dr. Ed Robinson. And over my history in the video production business, I tried to be the James Bandersnee of Philadelphia, like the James Bandersnee of the Harlem Renaissance. So right now we're going to go into a Kwanza presentation from a brother named Obanya Gordon from Camden, New Jersey. He's a wood craftsman, self-made man. And what he has done is created quite a few works of art that he sells, that he sustains himself, self-made man. And he shared his wisdom with us about the significance of Kwanza. G, can we go to the Job Man Caravan Kwanza show? And we're here with
O'Banion Gordon.
O'Banion Gordon. Welcome to the Job Man Caravan.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Okay, sure. I understand you're a craftsperson, and you're going to tell us a little bit about Kwanza, the alternative, the ultimatum, or, you know, the why we should know more about it and at least consider it during these
holidays.
Yeah. Okay.
We had entertainment. It's a brother named Brother Robert Dickerson from the Unity Community Center, or the African Dance Ensemble, and he started his very beginnings at that Kwanza. I saw him on the street at a drill, had a drill team called the Generals, and these boys were bad, and they were doing something for the community. And I said, man, you ought to take that on the road. Well, the following year, I had a Kwanza. I was in charge, and I paid him $500 to come and perform. And he said, wow, I got $500. And now he's national and been to Africa over 5-6 times. And his drum ensemble, the Unity Community Center in Camden, New Jersey.
We need to try to get him on the show.
Oh yeah, we can definitely do that.
Yeah, I like that, man. You know, maybe he can inspire other people.
Yeah,
you know?
And he takes kids from 2 and up and trains them to be expert martial artists and African dancers.
Okay.
And drummers.
And what's that brother's name again?
Brother Robert Dickerson and his wife Wanda Dickerson.
And what's the name of his organization?
The Unity Community Center.
Okay, so
or the African Dance Ensemble.
Okay, I know you wouldn't happen to have the number, would you?
I don't have it by memory.
That's okay,
but I do have the number.
Okay, well maybe you can call us and we can put it up on the screen.
Yes.
Because his brother, you know, people like that.
He serves the community.
Yeah.
He just had a banquet this weekend. What's so ironic about it?
So now I'm listening to all of these great things that are coming out of Camden. Then I'm seeing the murders and I'm seeing the cops whipping people, and you know, what they got, the police force, they fired a bunch of cops and then they hired them back, and it's back and forth and so forth, and you know, the drugs and the craziness. So how does that? I mean, you know, what part of the culture or the community is that a large percentage or just a little small pocket that they blow up on TV?
It's no larger a percentage of crime or violence or problems than it is in the United States in urban communities. It's a microcosm of the overall condition of black people in this world. So that's what Camden represents.
Like cannibals, like eating each other up.
Right. And what it is that there's no economic opportunity. There's no jobs. But yet, when you look at Camden in the daytime, right, it is an importer population. A great deal of the people, white people, that come in the city, that run social service in this place and that place, and at 5 o'clock, they shoot out of Center City, and it's like a ghost town. The condition, you know what I find funny is that anytime they're digging up the streets in Camden, right, digging holes, they will hire the police to come and watch the workers dig holes. And what's so ironic, they're watching the workers dig holes on one side of the corner. The other side of the corner, there may be a group of brothers selling drugs. But the only thing they want those police for at that time to do is watch guys dig a hole, as if the brothers couldn't dig a hole. And so you see the disenfranchisement of black people, no employment, that white people are coming to our city, building after building, Cooper University, Rutgers University, Camel Soup. I mean, Camden right now is really going up.
Is Campbell Soup still in existence?
Oh, Campbell Soup's headquarters at Camden, and they've just expanded a lot.
Did they?
Okay. Yes, they've expanded it, and they did this neighborhood cleanup thing. But all the cleanup thing is only where there's business at. It's only in the white neighborhood.
Well, let's make it clear that all white people ain't bad.
Oh no, not all
and
white
all
people.
black people ain't good.
And all black people are good.
So we got some white devils and some black devils and some.
But we have a devilish system.
Yeah, okay,
and that's what it is.
And that breeds.
And whoever works for it becomes part of that devil.
Ooh,
whether you're white or black.
I like that, man. That was right on the money. Yes. Yeah, okay, yeah. Well, there's a hornet's nest full of them.
Oh yeah. And recently they're going to have a metro police force. And one of my fears about it is that I hear these guys are going to get paid next to nothing. They're going to make a lot less than the Camden police now. And they're going to be a lot of white boys coming, and I say white boys particularly, coming in from other places who have an image, a mental image and picture of what black men are. So they're going to be scared. And so I suspect you'll be finding a lot of killings and shootings going on without adequate reason. It's just like when the state troopers came to Camden.
I remember.
They murdered us left and right, and they still do, because they come in with this attitude, we come to break y'all down. Your own police couldn't handle y'all, so we come to finish the job, and we're not playing. And it's mostly an all-white force, you know. It's just a shame that our youth suffer so much in Camden.
But you see, Brother Marcus Garvey told us that we could have all that we ask for tomorrow if we ask for it in one breath.
Yes.
So what happens is you got the Willie Lynch and you got all of these fractions that break us down. And I think another good quote was Brother Godfrey Cambridge said, if you can't buy a Negro, you can always rent one.
Yeah, I agree.
So we got all of these rent Negroes that jump up in front of the crowd with the bullhorn that lead us astray, that become spokespersons, and they're not talking about anything, man. They're not talking about liberation. They're not talking about nationalism. They're not talking about, unity. They're talking about the brother that's for us. We shouldn't listen to him. I mean, like on the plantations, the brother that knew he was going to get his butt whipped, stepping to the plantation owner to beg him not to sell Miss Mary's baby. Yes. He had the best interest of the community.
Yes.
And he knew he was going to get his butt whipped.
Right.
But even with the threat of that, he stood up and said, please don't sell Miss Mary's baby.
Right.
So now the plantation owner says, well, listen, that guy, if you listen to him, he's going to get you in trouble.
Yes.
Now, Tom here is my boy. You got something you want to say to me, you tell Tom, and if Tom think I should hear it, he'll tell it to me.
Yes.
But you don't come and tell me nothing. I don't want to look at you in the face. You couldn't look at these Europeans in the face on the plantation.
Oh, no, you had to hold your head down. Some places, it seems like some black people still, you go down south, there's certain older black people still kind of in that regimen.
Oh, yeah.
Will still hold their head down. Won't look a white man in the eye.
Yeah.
And look at you funny if you look at him in the eye.
Oh, yeah.
Like, boy, don't you know better than that?
Oh, yeah, but see, now the brothers down there, man, is dating these European
women.
So they think that they have, arrived.
Right.
And they haven't arrived,
No,
man.
not at all.
Absolutely, man. They really set themselves backwards, man, because we would not be here if it had not been for the strength of the black woman.
Yes, indeed. Yes,
of
indeed.
the African woman, I mean, she dropped them babies, man, and in 2 or 3 days, man, she's
back on the field.
Back on the
Sometimes
field.
the same day.
Same day.
Same day. You go back to work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're not moving advance in ourselves when we marry outside.
And you
of
can
our
judge
race.
the state of
That's my opinion.
Right.
Now, for those who think differently
Yes.
and believe that it has a different significance, God bless them,
And you can judge the state of a people by the development of his women. And if you see their women...
And seniors.
And seniors, right. And if you see as women, the society's women of a particular people all out of order, being castrated, being raped, just being demeaned, and have a poor self-image, then that will tell you the state of the male. Because there's not a male in the world of a nation of people that wants his woman trampled or disrespected. It's his lack of power that allows it.
Well, Malcolm said it.
Yes.
Malcolm
yes.
said, man, that, they beat your woman down and club her and everything, and you stand around and shake your head, man, but yet... Now, I lost my train of thought, man.
I was going to say, one of the things Hal Cruz said, I think he wrote a book in there.
No, we were talking about Malcolm.
Right.
And how the women, how the...
disrespected.
Yeah, but yet when he tell you to go to war, you get the gun in your hand and you get violent as you could possibly be to go fight somebody when he's sick 'em on you,
You're violent with everybody.
Everybody.
If he sends you to him. But when it comes to you defending your community, right, then you lost your ability to be violent. Malcolm used to talk about how, one white cop could come and make 50 Negroes move.
Oh, yeah.
How could that be
possible?
Give me this corner.
Give me this corner. Give me this corner. Yeah, so now, my brother, I'm really enjoying this conversation. And I wanted to kind of go back to the African-American community and their mindset of Christmas versus Kwanza. I'd really like to kind of dwell on that a little bit more if we could.
Okay.
Because, as a kid, I experienced it.
Yes.
we all
had.
I never had a Christmas tree or anything like that up in my adult life. But as a child, when I was at the mercy of my parents, that was what they wanted.
Yeah.
So we had the turkey, the pumpkin pie, the
sweet potato pie.
Oh man,
the collard greens.
and I'll never forget the music. Charlie Brown or whatever his name was, Charles Brown, Please Come Home for Christmas.
Okay.
Maybe I'm ahead of you now.
You're
but-
ahead of me.
Please Come Home for Christmas. Oh, there was some tunes that, Nat King Cole.
I know, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it was just tunes that they were playing.
Just think about
tunes that
African talking about he dreaming of a white Christmas.
Yeah,
he dreaming of snow. I mean, just think about that.
Yeah, well, but see, Willie Lynch, man, is more potent than we give him credit for.
Yeah.
We really need to point out when we're acting outside of our sanity, because when you say somebody is insane, to me, that means you're inside your sanity. That's a good thing.
Right.
When you're out of sane, then
Right.
that should be something that we need to check out, because outside means outside.
Okay. Here we want to talk a little bit about Willie Lynch for those of us who haven't heard of him, or maybe we're not on the same page. But Willie Lynch is a European that the Southern planters, the Southern plantation owners brought to America to teach them how to control their Africans. It was always uprising. It was always resistance. We never accepted their situation. And what you see happening right now is the modification of Willie Lynch. Willie Lynch told the European plantation owners, if you follow my advice, this system will work for 100 years, 500 years, and 1,000 years. What we do is we put the old against the young, we put the light skin against the dark skin, we put the fat against the skinny, we put the males against the females. So they are so paranoid of each other, they'll never come together. So we don't have to worry about an uprising or a revolt, because they're scared to talk to each other, because they're scared that it might get back to me. So there's a picture of Willie Lynch here, Mr. Lynch. This is what we got from Wikipedia, so hopefully it's correct. But we advise you to go to your Google search and go to your YouTube, find the Willie Lynch letter, read that letter, and that is the foundation for us coming together. Because right now, these young brothers killing each other, there's this harmony amongst us, this loyalty and no unification is the product of Willie Lynch. And there's a whole lot of other things that was going on too. But you have to imagine us on a plantation in a strange world with strange people. We don't know what's happening next. And then all of a sudden, the Willie Lynch thing comes along. Now, we advise you to get in touch with us. Give us your version of Willie Lynch. Let's talk about that. That needs to be in our nomenclature. We need to make Willie Lynch a part of our everyday conversation, because Willie Lynch is alive and well in our community. Can you imagine us on the plantation doing what this brother is doing now, shooting at each other? No, we didn't have time for that. We had too much oppression on us to try to make sure that we wasn't the next butt whipping. So as long as they could keep us thinking and hoping that we weren't the next butt whipping, we stayed in line. So we'll go back to the video, but we need to go into Willie Lynch a little bit more.
Okay.
And we like
Give
that.
us your feedback.
And Coochie Chocolate stands for self-determination.
Go back to Brother
Okay.
Beck and then myself.
That we should determine who we are as a people. We should name ourselves, define ourselves, live for ourselves, and understand who we are culturally and spiritually.
Okay.
Which means erasing the shackles of slavery.
Okay.
Right.
So now, do we light the center candle and the second
No,
candle?
the center candle would still, yes, you would. Eventually, all 7 candles will be lit.
At the end of the
At the
7
end of the
days?
7 days,
Okay.
yes.
So now, the center candle is, again,
Unity, umoja.
emoji.
And the second candle.
Now, let's go into emoji a little bit more.
Okay. Well, emoji, we talk about unity in our family, right? Unity in our community, unity in our nation as a people. We talk about our principle unity, because sometimes people united on a lot of stupid stuff. couple brothers get together and be united. We're going to, we're going to do some devilishment tonight. No, we're talking about a unity.
Well,
that,
give me something on this quart of or gallon of bebop wine or whatever,
What do you mean?
Well,
give me an example.
I mean, chipping in for
yeah,
a 40, or chipping in for
and that's
Tokay or Mad Dog,
right.
or
And that's unity, right?
Crazy,
or we all
crazy,
say we're gonna do
crazy. I mean, they got one out called Crazy something, don't they?
Crazy. Oh, Mad.
Okay, we got a little ahead of ourselves. What we wanted to do was to show you the different candles that we light for Kwanza, and the order that they're lit, and what each day stands for. So if you need a copy of this, email us at info@PhillyBlackNews.com, and we'll send you a photo of this. You can make it as large or as small as you want. You can have it someplace where, when you do your Kwanzaa celebration, you'll have how to light the candles each day and what the significance of each candle. Now, Brother Obanya is going to go into more detail about each candle and the significance of each candle. But here's a photo of the candles and the significance of each day. Can we go back to the Kwanzaa TV show? Thank you.
Dog and Crazy.
Yeah,
they got quite a few names up there. And people unite and put their money together and buy that stuff.
And then and get crazy.
Right, but that's not the kind of unity we're talking about.
We're talking about it totally different.
We're talking about a principle unity based on us as a people achieving, looking out for one another, standing strong on what represents us in this society, and being proud of ourselves. The type of unity that when somebody does something to one of us, they've done something to all of us.
All of us.
Yes. Whether we in Africa, whether we in the United States, Cuba, Puerto Rico, because we're world people. We are African diaspora, and we're over 1 billion people
in the world.
Over 1 billion people.
Okay.
So this
they
myth
really don't want them to come together, do they?
No, they never want that to come together. This myth that we are a minority is a power play. Because as long as you think of your population being restricted to the United States and they tell you you're only 40 million, then you feel like, well, we can't overcome this situation. But somebody start telling you you're 1 billion strong and their population is dying out, then you can start having a unity that will conquer the world for the good of the world.
I like that, brother. I like that. Let's go to the second candle.
That's Kuji Chakalia.
Kuji Chakalia.
And that means us.
Now let's tell which candle do we...
Okay, now we lit the center, which was the black candle on the first day. On the second day, we light the red candle all the way to the left. It's red, black, and green.
All the way to the extreme left.
Extreme left.
Okay, so we went past
from
two.
The center, past 1, 2 to the first candle.
Okay. And that would be facing the Kanara to your left.
Yes, facing the Kanara
to your left. Okay, gotcha. Okay. Tell me about the second candle. What is the significance of that?
It represents self-determination.
Self-determination.
Most of the kids love it because they like that word, especially the young ones, Kuji Chakalia. They all fall in love with that word. And they say, Kuji Chakalia, and then they give you a little giggle. Every time you introduce young kids to that, they love that word. Yeah.
But you know what? It's been my understanding that we have a libation. Is that part of it?
Yes.
And we honor the ancestors. We take a sip of the libation and we mention the names of our ancestors that aren't here with us anymore. And we say, was it O'Shea, I think?
Ashe.
Ashe, okay. Ashe. So you take a little drink of libation and you try to remember those who have passed on, who made us strong, who made it possible for us to still be here. And, we kind of like make that a part of the
that's part of the ceremony. In fact,
ceremony,
the ceremony is not even supposed to start before libations.
Okay.
What you do is you ask the elders, the African tradition and African culture, you ask the elders permission to begin the program.
Okay.
And then when you begin the program, you have a unity cup, a child emoji cup, all right? And you fill it with water. You can use spirits, but most of the time we use water. We use a plant to represent the earth. And we ask for people to call out a loved one, a leader, You know, it could be Nat Turner, it could be Harriet Tubman, it could be your mother, your father. And each time we call out one of our ancestors, we say Ashe. If I say my mother, Annie Gordon, I say Ashe. If I say Malcolm X, you say Ashe. If you say Nat Turner, Ashe. And the purpose of this is that African people believe that we have a spiritual connection, and that honoring those names, we bring their presence in that room. So libations is a bridge to bring us with the non-living in this room and bring our ancestors to show them that we still praise them and we still pay homage to them. And you can feel the difference of the energy in the room when you do libations. You can actually feel it change.
Isn't it wonderful, man? Our ancestors, man, had the knowledge to be able to ask for permission from the elder.
Yes.
Could they speak?
Yes, yes.
Can I speak? I mean, look at the kids.
Okay. What we want to do briefly as we go along with this TV taping is to kind of go into a little more detail of some of the information and the knowledge that was dropped during the taping. And right now we're at a part in the show where we talk about the wisdom of the ancestors. And I think that's a little important for us to kind of go into, because unfortunately, a lot of the younger generation don't have respect for the elders and their wisdom. I mean, when I was coming up, there was a whole lot of Africans that couldn't read or write, but they had common sense and mother wit. They were able to survive. I have an uncle-in-law that has a car repair business. He's doing extremely well. You know, he knows how to count that money. He knows how to fix them cars. He got a garage. He drives up, the garage door opens up. He leaves, the garage door closes. He's a self-made man. So we knew how to survive. And it came from the wisdom of our ancestors. And one of the things that really disturbs me is how the system we live in has okayed disrespecting our elders. True African tradition was the elders were the most respected of the citizens of our community, because you can't get wisdom any other way but living it. Your years on earth gave you wisdom. So family members had to make an important decision. First of all, you heard us talk earlier about how you had to ask, can I speak? So if you wanted to speak into a group of people, you had to ask the oldest person in the room, can I speak? And they would grant you permission to speak, and then you would say what was on your mind. Well, if you had an important decision to make, you would go to the elders, because the elders had the wisdom. See, we were highly intelligent people, so it wasn't like, one person had the book of knowledge. All of us did. And because we were so intelligent, we went to a higher intelligence just to make sure that what we were getting ready to do was the right thing to do. Another thing is the fact that we were the founders of medicine. Hippocrates, the European, that most medical professionals take the Hippocrates oath. But the father of medicine is Imhotep. Look this up, brothers and sisters. Imhotep was the first recognized genius in the history of the world. Yeah. Our father, ancient African. So what they're showing you now is not who we really are. What you see on television is not who we really are. What you hear on the news every morning about us killing each other, that's not who we really are. And that's what we want to do with this network. So if you want to participate, send us your information, send us your questions, we'll get it answered. We work with Dr. Jeffries, and Dr. Jeffries got a crew of of highly respected historians that will answer our questions and move forward. So you want to ask about Willie Lynch? Send us a video or an email. We'll try to get your questions answered. You want to go into more detail about wisdom and the respect of the ancestors? Send that to us and we'll respond. What we want to do is have a give and take of positive information about who we are and what we've done. So much that if we had a network, a television network, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week till the end of time, we could never go into everything that all the genius in us, all the contributions that we made for the betterment of all humankind. So with all of that being said, wisdom, respect the ancestors. Just because they can't read or write, or you went to college and you think you're more intelligent. No, no, no. Intelligence comes from common sense and mother wit. Because you're smart doesn't mean you have intelligence. It just means that you were taught by the Europeans' books. Our books, the books that we created, the books created for us, those are the books that make sure we round off our education and we round off our knowledge. Can we go back to the program right now, my brother G?
Now, talking back and forth to their parents. I mean, go on word for word. You
Exactly.
know, no respect. I
None.
mean, you know.
None.
And if you truly have that spirit in your makeup, in your DNA, you ask the senior, the elders, can I speak?
Right.
What a wonderful thing.
Wonderful thing. Because it shows you you're never too grown to have respect.
Yeah.
You know.
But you need their wisdom.
Right.
They
You
have
need
the
it.
years on earth.
Right.
You
right.
can't buy it.
I try to tell my son that all the time.
You
I'm
can't
telling you,
buy
you
wisdom.
just haven't lived long enough.
No.
You think you know something?
No.
You don't know nothing.
And that's why they would come to the elders to be able to make the decisions, to be able to utilize the dues that they paid to know what they know.
Yes.
Years on earth.
Right.
Can't duplicate it.
No, you can't.
But let's move on because we don't want to run out
Okay.
of time. We want to really
Get through.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we're at the second candle at the extreme left. Now where are we? Third day.
The third day, we at the extreme right. It's a green
Extreme
candle.
right. Okay.
Right.
So we had black.
Now
And
we're
this-
on green.
In the center we had what?
In the center we have black. That's the candle that represents the people.
Okay. And on the extreme left,
We have the red candle.
red, blood.
Blood. Yes.
Okay. Now on the extreme right,
We have green candle.
green, the land.
The land, prosperity, life.
Okay. And you did mention that we need a plant somewhere present with the Kanar, is that right?
We usually use a plant because we're pouring libations, so we use that water to pour back into the earth which it came from.
Okay. So we need a live plant
Yes.
with the Kanara to be able to round off the ceremony for the beginning of Kwanza
Yes.
and the 7 principles that we're going to acknowledge each day.
Yes.
Okay, now we're at the right, we're at the green. What does the green stand for other than the land?
It stands for the prosperity and life itself. And it also stands for, it's really our land. Marcus Garvey gave us these colors.
Okay.
Yeah.
The Honorable Marcus
The Honorable
Garvey. Yeah.
Messiah Marcus Garvey.
Okay.
Right.
We want to make sure that
Yes,
he gets his
indeed.
props on
Yes.
this show. Because I'm a Garveyite.
Yeah, I'm a member of the UNIA.
Okay.
Division 178.
Okay, welcome.
Yes.
That's
All
always
right.
good to meet a
Okay.
Garveyite.
All right.
Yeah, And that's another thing. We need to be able to have it on our forehead
Yes.
that we're Garveyites.
Yes, indeed.
So we can recognize each other in the crowd.
So when we see each other, right.
Yeah. And dispel all of the phonies, all of the hypocrites, all of the ones that might be, wolf in sheep's clothing,
Yes.
or a hypocrite or an imposter, because that ain't nothing to play with.
No, it's not. And I mean, he sets the foundation for every black organization in this country. There's no organization in this country
We did a piece on
that's
Brother
about
Marcus
black
Garvey.
people that doesn't get its roots from Marcus Garvey.
Oh, he was the one.
No.
He was the one.
And he understood the importance of self-government. So he already said the way out of
What
this is
has
self-government.
changed since him? Nothing. Everything is still the same.
No, it's all been
If you
disguised.
stand up and speak for people, they discredit you.
Yes, it's all been disguised now. And they're tricking black people to give up their culture and their identity by talking about it's a multicultural society. And I think this last election has shown how much hatred and how much racism exists.
Have you ever noticed, man, when a person is about something, the reporter, do you repudiate Malcolm X? Do you repudiate Marcus Garvey? Do you repudiate Muhammad Ali? Do you repudiate? They want to get on record your thoughts about this person.
Million Man March.
Yeah.
They wanted everybody to repudiate Mr. Farrakhan.
Oh, yeah.
But the fact that a million and over a million men showed up showed that it wasn't repudiated.
Hey, listen,
Anytime, many times can you get a million black people together? But you know, that's a common
But he
myth.
could do it.
But you know what's a common myth? That we can't get together without any type of commotion. In fact, we do it all the time.
But wait a minute. I got a buddy of mine who, because I was videotaping that day too.
Yeah.
But I had a buddy of mine that had video of a European going through the crowd bumping brothers.
Trying to get agitated.
Trying to get
something agitated.
Trying to get agitated.
Yeah.
And the brothers was saying, "Cool out, man."
They call them provocateurs.
The brothers that saw what was going on.
Yeah.
Because he was sacrificial lamb.
Yeah.
He wanted to be the one that went down in history.
Yeah, right. He wanted to be a martyr.
And all of the brothers, because I was there and I wasn't able to capture that, but I knew a couple of brothers who did.
Right.
And we came from all over the United States at the Million Man March.
Oh yeah, it was.
So I don't know where they went.
Not only the United States, we came from other places. People came to be the part.
I don't know where they went, but I remember seeing that with my own eyes.
Yeah.
And they were saying, "No, man, cool out. You know what that is, man. And I mean, it was like really trying to, what you say, provocateur?
A provocateur. That's what the system always sends out to start an eruption so they can crush you at that moment.
Okay, so listen, let's kind of move through this because I really want to wrap it up on a high note.
Okay.
And I want to show some of your works. And,
okay.
We want to try to set up another interview with you where we can really have time to go into a lot more detail because you seem like a bottomless pit of information. And I like your spirit.
Yeah, I've tried to participate in this all my life.
I mean, you came all the way here, man, to
Yes.
be interviewed, so that tells me a lot right there, you know.
Yes.
So now we're at the third candle. We're at the green candle. We talked about the land. We talked about the unity. We talked about the blood.
Okay, here
we go. So where are we now?
Okay. I was hoping that we could show the studio shot where we had Brother Robinson. There we go. And when you look to the left of the screen, you see Brother Robinson. This was taped at the in front of the Richard and Sarah Allen tomb at the AME Church at 6 and Lombard. This was one of the first TV shows, the first historical documentaries that I produced. And it's called This Week in African American History. And with this brother, we produced several historical documentaries. Can we put the, there we go. Okay, these are the videos that we produced. We have the Richard Allen story, and we talk about how Richard Allen and Absalom Jones and his colleagues founded the AME Church, the longest land continuously owned Africans here in America. And this is just a great, fascinating story. It was authenticated by the Mother Bethel Historical Society for its accuracy. So it's an accurate story about Richard Allen in the late 1700s, early 1800s. Because most people think that, everybody was in chain captivity until the signing of the Emancipation Proclamation and end of the Civil War. Well, that's not true. You had indentured servants in the South, and then you had indentured servants in the North, and you had permanent indentureship in the South. So in the South, it didn't matter. You were going to be captive. Your children were going to be owned by the plantation owner, et cetera, et cetera. Where in the North, you could pay off your indentureship. And your indentureship was whatever the plantation owner had to spend to get you there. You had Europeans that were indentured servants. So Richard Allen was able to work off his indentureship, purchase his freedom, and come back to Philadelphia as an itinerant preacher. So he was preaching here and there until he decided to found the AME church. So that's a whole nother thing all within itself. We want to get into some of that as we move along. But just to let those of you who are tuning in for the first time know that we've been at this for a long time. And over my years as a videographer, a historical video detective, we've captured a lot of information that we want to share with you. And all of it's good. All of it's about great moments in time for us. And even though Brother Robinson is not around anymore, when you talk about the elders, you keep their spirit alive. This brother had a lot to say. I worked with him for over 6 years, and I was in class with the professor every day. So I am a product of Ed Robinson. He pulled my coat. He's the one that allowed me to know the truth about who I am. And we need to keep his spirit alive by continuing to talk about him, sharing his wisdom. He understood the power of video, and he got right into it. It was a pleasure working with the brother, and I miss him very much. So we're going to go back to, as a matter of fact, what we're looking at right now on the monitor is when he talks about hypocrisy. He talks about Imhotep and how we did cataract eye operations. The heads of state, what you see now, is the University of Janet. It's still standing. 400 professors walk these hallways. Well, we could walk up to a professor anytime to get knowledge if we wanted it. So we want, what they're showing us now is not who we really are. It helps to lie about who they really captured and brought here and made to work for them to help build their nation. They didn't know anything. We were the craftspeople. We were the geniuses. We knew agriculture. We knew science. We knew medicine. We knew blacksmithing. We knew how to create a system to get rid of our human waste. And in a lot of the European nations failed because they didn't know how to get rid of their human waste. As a matter of fact, in the Richard Allen story, we go into the yellow fever plague in Philadelphia. Everybody was down on Delaware Avenue doing commerce all day, and if you're doing whatever, you got to go to the bathroom. And because they had no knowledge of how to control that, eventually the flies created the disease, passed the disease on to most people in that area. And this is when everybody that had any kind of money got the hell out of Philadelphia. This is where your Southwest Philly came from, your Kensington, your Flower Town, your anywhere outside of Philadelphia. Because the yellow fever plague wasn't no joke. And what happened was, because it wasn't affecting Africans the same way it was affecting Europeans, Richard Allen and his colleagues got a certificate from Matthew Clarkson, who was the mayor at the time, for helping them with the yellow fever plague, tending to the sick, burying the dead. And then he got a little coin for doing it as well. But Richard Allen wasn't no joke. Richard Allen, Absalom Jones, and those brothers, we were unified. So now what has happened with us from that period of time to now? You had the brothers and sisters in the South under total oppression every day, permanent indentureship. You had the brothers in the North that had that were indentured servants that could buy their freedom and live their life. And then you had the people that were envious of Richard Allen and his colleagues because they were doing so well. You couldn't spend your money outside of the AME church unless you looked everywhere. And if there was nobody in the church capable or able to supply your demand for goods and services, then you could go outside the church. So this upset these Europeans, just like Black Wall Street. When we come together, there's no stopping us. And that's the problem that we have now, brothers and sisters. We need to get back to where we were. Give me that good old time religion. Give me that good old time religion. Give me that good old time religion. That's good enough for me. Okay, so let's continue. Let's move forward. We wanted to show you a little bit about some of the great work that we've done. We didn't just pop up. We've been at this for a long time. We're just trying to take advantage of the technology that's in front of us right now. Some of us want to look at video games and other time-wasting situations. Here's an opportunity to know who you are, for us to come together, and for us to do better for ourselves. It's 2021, brothers and sisters. Wake up, wake up, wake up. Let's go back to the video, brother G.
Ujima.
That's the 4th day.
Yes.
Okay, and what candle do we light for the Ujima?
The red candle.
The red
We're
candle.
back on the red side now.
Okay, we're on the red side.
Second one to the left.
Second one to the left.
Right.
Okay, I got you.
Right.
Now, what are we celebrating, or what is it?
Ujima represents collective work and responsibility. It says that as a community, we must be collective with one another. As a family, we must be collective. As a people, we must be collective.
Mm-hmm.
So it's trying to teach black people to work in coalitions,
Mm-hmm.
to work as groups, and to stop being individuals, because we can't get nothing accomplished being individuals.
Well, you can throw the ball and catch it too, but you have to throw it up in the air.
Right.
You can't throw a touchdown.
Right.
You can't throw it and then get down the field
Exactly.
and catch it.
I like
so,
that.
you have to have cooperation. You have to have, and as a matter of fact, the word itself, cooperation.
Yeah.
Right.
Corporation.
Awesome.
Right.
It's self-explanatory.
Right.
Okay, here we go. Coming back at you. Here's a little brief overview of the word cooperation, corporation. And it really means what it says, cooperation. So when you look at the United States of America, what you're looking at is the biggest, most wealthiest corporation in the world. The United States seal is the same seal that, not the same seal, but the same significance of most of your major corporations, because they're set up to be able to do business, and America's product is taxes. Yeah, the same way Ford builds Ford automobiles and other products are manufactured. Well, America, biggest corporation is the taxes. So the city pays the taxes to the state pays the taxes to the United States, and so forth and so forth. So what we need to do is have more cooperation, understand how that works, understand that, to build wealth, to control wealth, to be able to be in line with the policies and the way that the United States of America was set up, you have to incorporate. As a matter of fact, we talked earlier about everybody getting out of Dodge when the yellow fever plague hit. Well, every wilderness they went into and set up a city, it was a corporation. So Flourtown is a corporation, Media is a corporation, Coatesville, Pennsylvania, Harrisburg, all of these cities were incorporated at some point. And when you look at the seal, you'll see the date when they were incorporated. That's when they came into existence. So they got us caught up into large game and tiny print. We're majoring in the minors. What we're into is only foolishness to keep us from going after the big dough. They don't want us in Wall Street. They don't want us to understand that game, that money game. They want you to be a spender. They want you to make this money and spend it with them as soon as you get it. That way you stay poor, you stay broke. All these loans that we have, you don't see the money. You see whatever they give you for the money. They send you a booklet with payments in it and so forth, but you don't actually see the money. They won't give you no money. They give you $30,000, $40,000, $100,000 house, $200,000 or $300,000 house, but you ain't gonna give. They're not gonna give you $200,000 or $300,000. No. So cooperation. Let's look that up. Let's understand how that works, and let's make that work for us, because we get caught up in so much of personal foolishness that you can't get along long enough to make a corporation work. This is what Willie Lynch has done. This is what they're doing to us right now. Keep us at each other's throats, looking at each other through a magnifying glass, pointing out everything that we can find about anybody that steps forward to try to liberate us, to try to free us, to try to give us knowledge of who we are. No, we're going to shoot them down. There's always going to be somebody that the European can create or hire or manufacture that's going to be the big mouth that's going to redirect that energy. Don't want it. And there's very few of us that came through that really are respected for what we brought to the table. Volumes of information, volumes of books, volumes of information proving how great we are. But they don't want us to know about that. You're not going to have a network that tells you about that. That's what Philly Black News and media advocates is set up to do. We want to bring you this good information, this good news. And it doesn't matter if only 1 or 2 of us know it. What matters is if the majority of us know it. So we know a number now. We got 70 million. We know that there's 70 million people out there that I'm not going to say hate us, but don't wish us well. So that's what we're up against. Before we were trying to figure, well, maybe there might be. No. 70 million people voted against us. Keep us in check. Okay, we're going to take a little break right now, and we're going to come back with more information. We hope you're enjoying the show with PhillyBlackNews.com, info@PhillyBlackNews.com. We'd like to hear from you. We want to keep this thing moving, and this is your network, brothers and sisters. So we are the producers, but it's for you. Let's ask these questions. Let's get these questions answered. Let's have a conversation every day, like when when Empire was on every morning. Everybody want to talk about what Cookie did last night. Yeah, you know. And we need to have the same interest in our heroes and sheroes and our greatness like we have in what they present for us to see. Okay, can we take a break now, Engineer, Brother G? Thank you.